Thanks so much to all my patrons. Join now to help support the channel and help pick the books that I review. Link in the description. And I am done. Okay, so I just got done listening to A Clash of Kings. This is book 2 in A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. And I want to give you my unedited thoughts on finishing this book, which was literally just right now. So yeah, this is great. This is one of the greatest books that have ever been written. Easy 5 out of 5 stars. And yeah, my opinion has only increased on this book and this series in my reread of it. So backing up, if you didn't watch my review of A Game of Thrones that I put out like a month or so ago, I had read this series multiple times before I had really read much other adult fantasy. And then I had a break, and then I started reading a lot more fantasy. And now I've read hundreds and hundreds of fantasy stories, so I thought it would be great to go back and reread A Song of Ice and Fire to see what my thoughts are, as compared, did it go up? Did it go down? What are my thoughts now that I know a lot about fantasy? And yeah, my thoughts are going up. And that's shocking to me. I thought for sure that, I would be viewing this with a different context. And no, A Song of Ice and Fire is like one of the greatest of all time fantasy stories. It is great in every single regard. I literally don't have a complaint about this story in the first 2 books. I know I will eventually, or maybe I won't. Maybe I'm going to end up reading books 4 and 5 and not see the complaints that I had the first time around. I'd love that to be the case. In fact, there's a decent chance that is the case. But we'll see. But yeah, it's fantastic. There's literally nothing bad about these books. And, I thought even like doing audiobook narration might lose something because these are a little bit more complicated. There's a lot of characters, it needs a lot of voices. Sometimes you get a lot of voices with a single audiobook narrator and it can kind of get samey, and there's a lot of women characters, a lot of women point of views in this series, and so a lot of men can't do women voices very well. And yeah, Roy Daltrey's, the dude that does this, is amazing. I mean, he's so good, like one of the best audiobook narrators. And I should have known this was going to be the case, because back when this book came out and these audiobooks came out, and it's been the same audiobook narrator, they didn't like update it later on. I feel like audiobooks you didn't get an audiobook unless your book was like really big. And if you got it, you got like a really quality person that might have other experience and like, other, movies or TV or the stage. I don't know what Roy Daltrey comes from, but I can say that he comes from that time period where it felt like every audiobook narrator just knocked it out of the park, and God, he's good. So I don't know what his past or what he's done since then, but yeah, beautiful performance. Just couldn't really do much better. I mean, he has such a range that he uses, puts so much passion into it, really does the story do great justice. So yeah, I can't even knock anything on the audiobook. It's great. And in fact, the audiobook, and I'm not saying that because now I understand the story better and I've read it multiple times, and so audiobook would be easier to understand. No, this would be super accessible from somebody first getting into the series for the first time. So yeah, I can't say enough positive things about the audiobook. So yeah, let's go into the story itself. I'm not going to talk spoilers. I'll be very vague when I talk spoilers, because you'd be surprised how many people have not read this series, and even people that have watched, a handful of minutes into a review about a book that came out a long time ago that's popular still might not have read the book yet and would be upset at spoilers. So we're going to be spoilers free, or very spoilers free. But so this story is so much better than the first one, because it just takes the story that really started off in the first book. The first book was all about vibes. It was setting the tone, putting the pieces in place. And it wasn't until the very end of the story that George R.R. Martin started to knock those pieces down. And in this second book, it's doing a lot of putting them up and also a lot of putting them down. It's very high octane from the beginning of the story. Now, it does have these moments of up and down, but I mean, this is a book that just that grabs you and goes. I feel like even the characters that I feel like I don't love them as point of view characters, namely Bran and Daenerys, I feel like had strong arcs in this book. The Bran arc in particular, I feel like starts to go downhill in later stories, but in this one, I loved the arc involving a character that is very well known to the Starks, that makes a reappearance here, and I thoroughly love that. I love knowing and seeing the foreshadowing of the things that are going on later with this one character, that kind of takes a bit of a heel turn in this series, and watching that all play out. And it's a great story, and Bran is the center of it for a lot of what happens in Winterfell. So that's great. You know, I feel like the Daenerys story had some captivating moments, and it didn't have that kind of bore that Adventures of Dragons has with the Daenerys story, or even the first book, quite frankly, which was just a lot of traveling from point A to point B. There was some serious action beats here that I thought worked really well, and a very compelling story. But then you got to the really good stuff, the stuff happening at King's Landing, the stuff happening beyond the Wall. And this is high quality. Watching the Game of Thrones happening at King's Landing, and all of the power pieces come together. Watching a certain character from Casterly Rock enter the scene, which is one of my all-time favorite characters, is wonderful. And seeing the direction that goes, and trying to take control of the scene, and watching his children try to wrestle with the fact that, you know, that this massive, formidable character is going to come and take over the scene. You know, I feel like the conclusion of this story, which is a major battle that I don't want to give any spoilers about, is so well done. I mean, the battles, I feel like George R.R. Martin isn't well known for his battle writing. I feel like he writes some good stuff, but he's known for the characters. He's known for the dialogue. But he writes a great, gritty, kind of confusing battle sequence that has these heroic aspects to it, and that is able to pull you back and feel like the bigger thing, but then pull in for these intimate moments in the characters. And the way that he follows these point of view characters so diligently gives you that isolated sense that works really well in battle stories, because you don't want clarity when it comes to battle. It ruins the whole point of the mess and chaos of battle, and it's just captured so well here. You know, just this book rocks. I mean, it's amazing, and it blows my mind that this isn't even close to the best book, because the next book I feel like is so much better. And again, maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I'll feel like it's just like all kind of like this one. But man, thinking about the things that are going to happen in that next book, I'm already really excited about it. I'm so excited that I've reordered my TBR, and I'm just going to jump straight into A Storm of Swords, because I'm that excited. And I can't tell you the last time that I've done that. You know, I very much like to space things out. You've probably noticed that. It takes me months to get back to a series, because I'm reading so many series simultaneously, but I have to do it. And that kind of leads me to another point here, is that I've been kind of preaching this idea that I'm a lot more forgiving of George R.R. Martin than I feel like a lot of other book reviewers are. People that are kind of mad and feel entitled, and I feel like he's really done a disservice to the fans. And I've been in this defense of George R.R. Martin, saying, you know, the series is great. If no other books come out, it's a wonderful series. It doesn't need a proper ending to be great, even though I'd love it. He doesn't owe us anything, you know, and he's probably in a tough bind, and it's hard, and he might have creative blocks. I get it, right? I'm kind of back to mad. It's just such a great series that, like, I'm kind of back to mad. I want that next book so bad. I want the series to finish. George, what are you doing, my man? Like, what are you doing? Just get yourself in a room and write that dang book. Is it that hard? Because, like, it's not. You can solve a lot of these problems. Like, these little, like, knots that you've written yourself into are very solvable problems if you just, like, actually sit down and write. Because I feel like you're not doing that. And if you are, and you're just over-editing things, that's fine, too. Just stop that. I don't need it to be perfect. Just give me something. Just move the story forward, or just skip time. I'm fine with that, too. I just kind of need to read more of what you got to offer here that's not in these novellas or other wildcard random books, or just random historical, books about the world. I don't need that. Just give me a Song of Ice and Fire, please. That'd be great. Cool. So I don't think I have anything else to talk about here. Hopefully I get a Storm of Swords done I'm going to try to power through that because I'm just so excited, and I'll come back to you and we'll talk about my thoughts about that one. So that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching this review, and as always, happy reading to you. Thanks again to all my patrons, with a special shout out to my Ascendant tier and Librarian tier patrons: Amy, Alex P, Anna G, Brady K, Doust, Darren, Jerry, Jonathan, Nev's Book Channel, Ron Reich, Ryan L, Sydney Baker, Anna, Blair, Eric Cannon, Joe UK, Kat Mick, Ricky Iman, and Sky. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video, and if you want to watch some more content from my channel, click over here and I've got some good videos for you. Thanks so much.